Good afternoon, Monarchs. This is Barry Gribbins, President of LA Valley College, and welcome to our weekly town hall. I have a couple of updates for you today. I also have the pleasure of being joined by Amber Angel and Lorena Barton, who will share some information on how to access our Family Resource Center and services, which includes services for our students who are parents. But before we do, also, we'll be answering some questions. So if you have any questions, go ahead and post it in the group chat and we'll answer them as we go. So a couple of the updates for you. This is the first day of the summer session. Welcome to the first day of summer school. We have seen a large increase in the number of students, over 20%. So that's great that you all have signed up for classes. We look forward to serving you. Of course, everything currently remains online or offered remotely. If you do need any assistance, please contact us through one of the links. I'll ask staff to go ahead and post them in the group chat for student services. All the student services are still available remotely, and that includes using live chat through email or phone. I do recommend either email or live chat, though, as the most effective ways of connecting with our student services folks. We are also working on our call to action on racism that I mentioned last week. This weekend, we saw another reminder of the importance of this work with the death of Rayshard Brooks. We'll continue to develop plans for addressing racism. We're also specifically going to be developing plans that involve students, both in providing a space for students to be able to share, as well as efforts to gather students' inputs to help advance LA Valley College forward. So please be on the lookout for information about both of those important resources. Lastly, I just wanted to mention updates for fall. We continue to develop plans for the fall semester. The sections are available for students to start registering in. You can access information about it. All of the classes for the fall semester are currently online, though we're also developing plans for how to bring some of the classes back to face-to-face when the LA County Department of Public Health order allows us to do so. Though I want to mention that that's going to be a limited number of classes. It will only include classes that cannot be offered online. For this spring, we had a handful of classes that couldn't be converted to online. These included some nursing classes, machinist classes or technology classes, and respiratory therapy classes. I would expect the classes that will be offered in the fall face-to-face will be similar departments as those. If classes can be offered online or remotely, they'll continue to be offered online or remotely. Also, all student services will continue to be available online throughout the summer and the fall. I'm going to take a couple of questions and then I'm going to turn it over to Amber and Lorena. The first question is about contacting admissions and records. Loe, the best way to contact admissions and records would be either through the live chat, and I'll ask again staff to go ahead and post the link to it, or to email student services. I think it's admissions@lavc.edu. Mr. Coda wrote a question. Is there anything I need to know about this college? I'm new, and since everything is online, I enrolled for a class here. Great. Well, welcome, Mr. Coda, to LA Valley College. We do have a welcome center that has resources that are available online while we are offering everything remotely or online. So you might want to check out the Welcome Center, which is available. You can link to it off our homepage. and they'll be happy to connect with you. And throughout the fall semester, through the summer and the fall semester, I'll continue to provide updates for different resources that are available, as well as different events that might be coming up. Kaya asked a question about accessing DSPS to get an accommodation letter for the second summer session. You can access the DSPS office, the students SSD office, through the link from our homepage for student services. All of the student services are available through that link, including programs for students with disabilities. The question from Bishop Monique Fletcher about any more COVID-19 funds available for students. We do have additional funds that are going to be available for students from the CARES Act. That includes the remainder of the first half that we received from the U.S. Department of Education. We're working through plans for how to distribute those funds. There is a restriction that those funds can only be distributed to students who have a federal financial aid award. We're just working through the details on how much can be provided to each student. We will then, once those funds are expended, receive the second half of the CARES Act funding, and we're developing plans for that second half. We intend to use a good portion of the second half also for support for students, whether it's through direct support or through support by buying Chromebooks and hotspots. We still have to determine. We're waiting on some guidelines from the U.S. Department of Ed to help indicate how we can use those funds. Question from Joseph: when will on-campus class start? We do expect to bring just a couple of classes back as early as July. Those would be just the classes that were started in the spring semester that couldn't be completed. There's 7 sections left of classes that were offered in the spring semester that couldn't be completed. So our priority is to help students in those classes finish the classes. Once those classes are completed, then we'll be looking at some other course sections that could not be converted to online, and we'll develop plans to get those back face to face. That would be a relatively small number. So out of maybe the 1,400 classes that we offer, that might include 20 or 30. When we might be able to offer those classes on site will be determined by the orders from the LA County Department of Public Health and other factors. We also have to put into place a lot of procedures to help ensure that students are safe. That could happen for the fall, though there hasn't been any specific timeline set. A lot of it has to do with the data on what's happening with the spread of COVID-19. In terms of if the question was also, when will we be able to bring all classes back to campus? That will be when the LA County Department of Public Health moves to the final phase, which allows all activity to resume. We don't expect that to happen very soon. We expect that'll happen at the earliest, maybe spring of 21, but it's going to be quite some time. A question about fall sports like water polo. We don't have specific plans yet for fall sports, though we are developing plans. We also are putting together a policy statement to express to everybody our commitment to athletics and our student athletes. Student athletic programs and our student athletes are important to Valley College. We remain committed to athletics. Currently, competition's not permitted for athletic programs. In fact, there's no ability currently to bring teams together, though I do expect that over time those quarters will change that will enable us to bring teams together for classes, for training, and at some point for competition. We don't know what the timeline is for that. I do expect that more information on athletics, including competition, will be for the fall semester, will be made in mid-July. We may not have detailed schedules at that point, but the different athletic associations are expected to release statements on fall competition in mid-July. With that information, we'll be able to finalize our plans. And with that, let me go ahead and invite Amber Angel and Lorena Barton to share some more information about the Family Resource Center. And after we get some more information to you, we'll go ahead and go back and see if we have a few more questions, either for the about the Family Resource Center and serving our parents, our students who are parents, or general questions. Amber?
Perfect. Thanks, Dr. Gribbins. As he mentioned, my name is Amber Angel. I am the program coordinator at Los Angeles Valley College Family Resource Center. We are a student-parent program. We have a student-parent program, and we are located on Valley's campus. You know, I want to commend you all for working so hard in your academics. We recognize that for many of you, you also have young children at home, and that makes this time especially challenging. So we're here to help you. I am going to walk you to, oh, and Lorena, would you, sorry.
Hi, that's it. I am a student parent and also a nursing school student at Valley. And I've also started working at the Family Resource Center as a student worker. And I just finished all of my prereqs, and I could not have done it without the support of the Family Resource Center, the emotional support, the physical support, and the resources. So if you're a student parent and it's hard, please utilize the services we have. It helps you make it through.
So I'm going to take you to our website and just go over a few of the services offered. So if you find yourself at Valley's website, under student services, you can access our website through here or just into your browser. Oh, let me share my screen. You can find us under student services, or you can type in lavcfamilyresourcecenter.org, and that will take you to our main site. On staff, we have a family therapist as well as a resource counselor. And you can, right now, as Valley's services are all kind of offered virtually, you can request appointments with either one of them. And they're both just safe places to come and get resources like ongoing self-care, or if you need to get connected, we do partner with a off-campus mental health facility.
And one thing just to add on that is if you're having a hard day, reach out. You can talk to these guys. Lisa is so amazing. You don't have to have a hard day alone. Schedule a time. They're so there for you, and they make getting through so much easier.
Absolutely. Luma, our resource counselor, you can also make an appointment with her from our front page. And she's really wonderful at connecting you to ongoing resources in the community that you may not know you had access to, especially now for those of you maybe who've lost your jobs or you're taking more courses, need access. So Lorena is featured here with her son when he was little taking classes. So we got it. I started as a student parent at Los Angeles Valley College, and I also transferred to Cal State Northridge. This is my daughter and I at our graduation in May. I would not be here to talk to you guys about this had it not been for the support. So this is where you enroll. And I just want to mention that you know, some of you who might be parents may be familiar with CalWorks or enrolled in CalWorks, or you might be part of CARE. That does not disqualify you. What makes our center different is that we really don't have any requirements for you to be in our program or stay in our program other than the fact that you have a child under the age of 18 living in the home who you care for. We don't want to add in, you know, we're really unique. We're the only family resource center on a community college campus, and we just really want to be available to support you. So we have virtual student parent cafes where you can come together and discuss, you know, kind of parenting student challenges with other student parents. Our therapist, Lisa Brower, has a weekly parenting class. This is all currently done on Zoom, but when we are back on campus, as Dr. Gribbins mentioned in the final phase, to let all services back. These are done in person on campus with your children. Your children are able to come as well.
It's really, really, really fun.
And you can make your appointment to meet with our academic counselor. So if you need help with your student ed plan, we can do that. We can help you connect to a counselor this way, as well as resource counseling, as I mentioned, with either Lisa or Luma. We are working right now, and here you can access some COVID resources as well on our website for fun activities with children. And while we are still working on our plan to get back in person, hopefully in future phases, we'll be able to distribute diapers and wipes during this time, as that's a service that we offer student parents when we are on campus. So that's us.
Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Lorena. If you have any questions for Amber or Lorena, feel free to post those in the group chat as well. Let me look to see if we have any questions. Bree asked about coming into campus for in-person services and help with ed plan and graduating. When might that happen? We currently, all of the counseling services and student services, including admissions, are offered online only, and you can access those by email, live chat, or calling. We don't have a date on when that will return to in-person. That will likely be one of the final phases, so it'll be quite some time before we can have in-person counseling services. There's a question about military veteran students getting designated parking. It's a good question. We do have a committee that looks at parking and parking restrictions and also designated spaces. We'll forward that to the committee so that they can review that idea. Chris asked about changing a grade to an EW that Chris emailed on May 28th and hasn't heard back yet. Chris, do go ahead and email admissions just to confirm that the email went through. Also, we have some admissions staff that are listening, so we can have them check to make sure that your email was received, and they'll respond to you. But just please do email them again just to confirm that the email went through okay. Joseph asked about the next financial aid disbursements. We'll get the financial aid disbursement schedule and we'll add it to the FAQ. If we have any financial aid staff on the call, I'll also ask them to post the next disbursement in the live chat. There's a question about deadlines for adding and dropping classes for the first summer session. And you should be able to access deadlines through the student information portal, through the SIS system. So do check that out, and we can post information about accessing the deadlines in the group chat as well. A question from Veronica about book orders. Generally, book orders will be mailed out to students. If you have any specific questions or if there's a unique circumstance, you can always contact our bookstore, LAVC bookstore, and they can make arrangements with you individually. Generally speaking, though, all book orders will be mailed out to students. Question. A question from Laura about transcripts. Laura Gonzalez. And it looks like it's specific to your situation, Laura. And I'll ask student services, if you can email student services again, admissions, email at admissions@lavc.edu, and I can have them keep an eye out for your email and follow up on your unique circumstance to find out if there's any additional changes that need to be made in the system about your transcripts. A question from Mr. Cota about needing a student ID to enter LAVC Canvas, or will your ELAC student ID work? You should only have one student ID, so that ID should work. But if you have any challenges accessing Canvas, you can always contact Virtual Valley, and they'll walk you through any assistance that you need. And Virtual Valley can be accessed off our website. Staff can also post the contact information for Virtual Valley. That'd be helpful. And let me see if there's any last questions. I don't see any, but if any additional questions are posted, we'll go ahead and pull those questions and add them to the frequently asked questions document on the website as well. Thank you all. It's going to be a start to a great summer session. Already has been a great start to the summer session. Thank you for your resiliency, and please let us know how we can continue to support you. We won't be having a town hall next week, but we'll send out a notice to all students for information about the subsequent town hall. Thank you again, and I hope that you have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.